CoinAlts 2022 special. I'm here with Phil in San Francisco with the CoinAlts Symposium, which is just about to start, and it's going to be a very exciting day. We've got some great speakers, jam-packed full of events, and we've got Phil's highlight at the lunchtime session. What's that going to be looking like?
Oh, I'm absolutely terrified. So I have the absolute honor today of doing a fireside chat with Punk 6529, which is going to be amazing. So I need to go and prep and work out how on earth I do this. And we're really excited to also tell you some news about the BVI BASPACT. We've got some exclusive preview of how that's going to look, when that's going to be around, and how it's going to affect everyone that listens to this podcast. So stay tuned. Looking forward to giving you more from this conference. And
welcome to the midpoint update for the CoinAlts 2022 here in San Francisco. It's been a great day so far. We've had some very, very good speakers and a wide range of interesting topics. One of the keynotes was Phil interviewing Punk 6529 and looking at his philosophy around NFTs and the metaverse and the way in which crypto could change the world. And we are now finished for the day at CoinAlts 2022. Here with Mr. Graham, relatively refreshed after his keynote speech interviewing 6529. We've had a really good day, as I mentioned before in the brief update, and we had a really good panel with some of our clients and some other experts in this space talking about investing in a crypto winter. Good turnout. Good wide variety of topics, and now we're going for a couple of drinks and a speaker dinner. So Phil, how do you think it went today?
My bit's over, and I'm pleased about that. I'll talk about that in a sec. I think what was really interesting for me, we've been doing CoinAlts since 2017. The founder sort of sponsors of it and really created a community. That was the idea, wanting people who were invested in such an early stage to know that they had service providers around that could help them. I think anecdotally, what was really interesting is that the sort of the ones we did in 2017 and 2018, we were guessing. You know, I think back to them, and you think everyone was giving it a go at showing absolute bullishness. So this is really exciting. This technology, these people, it's going to be incredible. But we were guessing. Mm-hmm. And I think the big difference I felt today was that the quality of people we had on the stage today, they've been through a lot. You know, it sounds like a ridiculously small period of time, but that 5 years, the 2017 ride to 2022, how much we've learned about this industry in that period, and you could sense it, right? I mean, I could. People were not giving you guesses. People were not giving you any form of educated beliefs as to where this might go. They've ridden the storm. I mean, you've watched this space. Could you feel that as well?
I think there were some people on the stage who were saying it was their third crypto winter. They've been in the space since well before 2015, 2016. And the lessons learned and that wisdom that comes from that is being disseminated amongst the community. I particularly liked, and I mentioned this in the update, one of the lawyers talking about how they like to check in to see what their peers are doing and get a kind of a cohesive herd going. I'm not sure herd is the right word, but the idea that there's safety in numbers and it kind of sense checks that what you're doing is kind of aligned with how the industry generally perceives things to be. So that's a good thing about these events. Not only are they in person, you're not just doing lots of Zoom calls, but you're meeting people outside the meeting room and getting ideas and getting a sense of, so what are you seeing and what are you dealing with? And it was great, and whatever you're interested in, whether it was funds or service providers or the DAO stuff or even the NFT stuff, there was an event here, there was people here that you could meet with and connect with, and it was a thorough success, I'd have to say.
Yeah, no, I fully agree. I would say the two hottest topics I would say that people wanted to talk about, accessing international exchanges as US manager, pretty much came up on every panel. We're not going to get into that now, but if anyone wants to talk about that at any point in time, we'd love to hear from you, and we certainly have some ideas and some suggestions in that space. And then to just conclude on sort of Punk 6529, who was brilliant, I have to say, and thoroughly entertaining, and his conclusion was sort of, if you read his latest sort of Twitter thread from Halloween, what he talks about is, could this all end, and how could it end? And he articulates beautifully how this might be finishing for us. But then I asked him, well, should we give up, or what should we do? And it was such a rallying cry. It was such an important message to the community that what we do matters, and actually how we do it matters. And exactly as you said, that herd mentality, getting a bunch of very sensible people together who believe in this space in a cynical way. Look at Marc, who's an absolute crypto genius, but comes with a great deal of cynicism in everything he looks at.
Applied cynicism.
Applied cynicism, that's how we should see it. But fundamentally, you bring those people together in this community, and together, the actual powerful message you can give global regulators, you can give the wider cynics that are out there is so powerful, and I think that resonated for me on almost every panel.
Agree, and it's very rare for these sorts of events to have that kind of flow and synergy. Sometimes they can be a bit disjointed, or there's just so much going on, you can't really get a coherent sense of purpose of attending the event, but I think this was nicely well aligned in terms of the speakers and the breadth of topics. Wasn't too big that it was kind of a bit overwhelming, and you kind of get torn in all sorts of different directions because there's so many people to speak to or so many events to go to. Yeah, this worked really, really well, and I'm glad we're a part of it. I'm glad we attended, and I think there'll be a lot of contacts and follow-ups to come for many weeks from this.
Completely agree. No, before we wrap up, just wanted to give our exclusive sort of announcement that we promised earlier. The BVI VASP is obviously on its way. A lot of people have been asking us about it, and it's been rumoured for a long time. Happy to say that it will be in by the end of the year. And I think the most important thing to announce, we're not going to get into any detail, but again, if you're out there and you want to talk about it, please get in touch. The most important thing to announce, and this is a world exclusive, I believe, thank you, is to say that token issuers are not going to be part of this particular bit of legislation. We've seen such unbelievable use of BVI vehicles in particular as token issuance vehicles for a whole bunch of very sensible reasons. And I think the fact that the VASP isn't going to touch on it in this certain iteration will bring an awful sigh of relief from a huge number of people.
There you go. You heard it here first.
Here we go. Right. Can we go and drink?
We're done. Let's go. All right, cool. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thanks very much.
Cheers. Take
Bye-bye.
care. Bye.